Hey folks, Wally DM here, and today our adventuring party has discovered an abandoned candy shop. But inside the shop they're going to find 7 different storage bins that are just filled with these little tidbits of heart-shaped candies. What's really impressive is even as old as these candies are, they're still edible, even though they taste a little stale and a bit like chalk. But in addition to the candies, they're also going to find a love letter and a ring-shaped puzzle box. Now, if they were to press the buttons on the puzzle box in the correct order, they'd be able to open it and perhaps find a magic ring inside. So today is going to be a puzzle that involves what we know as conversation hearts, little heart-shaped candies with words on them, and this one's going to be called Candy Hearts. But before we get started with the puzzle, I have a bag of conversation hearts here. Let's just pull one out and see what it says, shall we? Please subscribe. Also, don't forget to join us on the Discord, and if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, The Journal of Puzzle Encounters, it's available now on DriveThruRPG. Be sure to check it out. So in this puzzle, our adventuring party has discovered an abandoned candy shop. Now inside of this old candy shop, everything's going to be covered with dust and cobwebs and things of that nature, but there's also going to be something very interesting. And that is behind this candy counter are going to be these storage bins or these massive jars that are going to be filled with candy. Now if our characters were to come over and take a look at this, they are going to notice that there is a dispenser mechanism at the bottom. So if they wanted to dispense a few of the candies and reach out and grab them, they'd be able to do so. And of course, these are going to be conversation heart type candies. They're going to be these little tidbits that have some words stamped on them. Now it should be noted, if any of the characters want to eat the candies, they are edible and they don't have any outlasting effects. These things could last for over 100 years, but they do taste a little bit stale and a little bit like chalk. Just like I remembered, stale and chalky. Now there are 7 different colors. We have blue, green, orange, red, purple, white, and yellow. And each color has its own word or phrase that's stamped on it in red ink. And we'll get to those in just a minute. Now if our characters were to continue exploring this abandoned shop, there's 2 more things that they're going to find that's going to help them solve this puzzle. The first thing is on this table is going to be this small ring-sized box or a puzzle box. And if they're to take a closer look at this, they're going to notice 7 different buttons, and each of the colors of buttons on this puzzle box are going to match all 7 colors of the candy that's stacked out in front. Now if a character were to begin pressing the buttons on the puzzle box, those buttons are going to stay pressed into the box until all 7 colors are pressed. If the incorrect code was entered, then all 7 of the buttons will pop back out, and whoever it is that's holding the puzzle box can try to enter the puzzle combination again. So after examining the puzzle box, it can be determined with a DC 12 investigation check that the buttons will need to be pressed in the correct order in order to open it. And of course, pressing all 7 buttons in the incorrect order just simply resets the puzzle. Now when the characters find this puzzle box, along with the puzzle box is going to be a handwritten letter by someone by the name of Nico or Neko, and they might have perhaps been the former candy person or baker that owned this place. So let's take a look at the letter that the characters are going to find next to the puzzle box on the table. And as you can see here, some of the words have been omitted and replaced with an outline of a heart. So the partial letter reads, "My dearest, you always make me, I hope you will, and to marry me. We are destined to be," and it's signed Neko. Now if the characters have already discovered the candies in the storage bins and the letters, they're going to be able to determine that the size and shape of the candies is going to be an identical match to the outline of the heart that is on the letter. Now if we go back to our candies and take a look at them by each color, they're going to see that all of the blue candies in the jar are going to be stamped with "Be Mine." All of the green candies are going to be stamped with "Soulmates." All of the orange are going to be stamped with "Say Yes." All of the pink heart-shaped candies are going to be stamped with "Love You." All of the purple ones are going to be stamped with "True Love." The white candy hearts are going to be stamped with "Smile." And the yellow candy hearts are going to be stamped with "Forever." So we now have everything that we need to be able to get the correct combination for the puzzle box. So with the love letter, the stamped candies, and the buttons on the puzzle box, do you know how to solve the puzzle? I'll give you a second if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great. Let's go over the answer. Now, of course, we've already determined that there are 7 outlined hearts on the letter, and there are 7 different colored candies, and each color of candy has its own phrase or word stamped on it. So in order to be able to put the pieces in place, we're going to need to look at the letter and put whatever heart it is that best makes sense. So let's take this line by line. The first line is my dearest, and then there is a heart. Would it be my dearest be mine? My dearest say yes, my dearest soulmates, my dearest love you, my dearest smile, my dearest true love? That sounds about right. So let's move the purple heart, true love, so it will be my dearest true love. Line 2, you always make me smile. The white heart will go there. I hope you will be mine, the blue heart, and say yes to marry me, the orange heart. We are destined to be soulmates, with the green heart, and forever, the yellow heart. And then the final line, love you, comma, Neko. So now that our love letter has all of the different colored hearts in place, this is actually going to be a clue to the combination on the puzzle box. So looking at our puzzle box or our ring box one more time, we just take the colors in order that they appear on the letter. So we will press purple, white, blue, orange, green, yellow, and then pink. And when we press those colors in that order, the puzzle box or the ring box will open and there will be a magic item or some type of treasure inside. Now, what is going to be inside the puzzle box is totally up to you. Perhaps it's a magical ring that you're able to find in the back of your core rulebook. Perhaps it's a homemade magic item that you created just for this adventure. Or maybe it's something a little more devious. I was actually running a campaign at one time where the characters were finding 7 different rings that all represented the 7 deadly sins, and I think this would be a perfect puzzle that could conceal the Ring of Lust. But whatever you decide to do, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what the characters in your game are going to find in this puzzle box. Now, if you'd like to have access to the written version of this puzzle, along with the candy heart tokens that you've seen in this video, those are available for download today on Patreon for all the members at the $2 level or higher. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is it something that you would use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? Be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.